Very well pitched game, a very well played game, as a matter of fact. But Tigers came out on top 3-1 with a really key, fun fifth inning.
Yeah, that certainly was. To be able to come out and have our heads on straight. I thought our players did a good job of keeping their focus. I could tell right from our pregame that we were in it. Our heads were on straight. We were focused, determined that we were wanting to hit the baseball and play well today, and I thought we did that for the most part. Bronson came in, did a great job, and kind of kept us in the game the entire way through, and just got got toward about the fifth inning there, so got a little hot. Got a little collision issue there, and he just was starting to lose his control. But yeah, I mean, it was one of those games where your ace goes out and does his job, and you've got the key hits when you need to from some of your younger players, and just see some big hits. So yeah, it was a good win, no doubt. Obviously, Cuba's pretty solid team, and I tip my hat to Coach Bass. Those guys, they're a good group, and I always wish them nothing but the best next season. But yeah, it was kind of nice to get that first district win.
Talk a little bit about Bronson Crockett. The kid goes out there, he really keeps Cuba way on their heels pretty much most of the game. And unfortunately, then at bat, he gets plunked with a fastball, right in the back and right below the left shoulder. And then on the very next inning, the guy bunts the ball down and then runs him over like he's just a pylon. And then he's laying there on the ground. Of course, it's interference. Coach, I mean, it was one of those things. Poor guy just got the living tar kicked out of him in one inning, and he went back out there, tried to finish up. He needed a little visit. You got out there, and then you got him back on track. But, boy, he was struggling right after that collision, wasn't he?
Yeah, and that was kind of part of my decision to, kind of pull him after that fifth inning or just kind of get something going with Caden. Because I could just tell, after that collision, and we had, a little bit of talk that, you could tell his face was hot, and from the temperature and just the collision in general, he wasn't his usual self.
Right.
Now, Bronson would tell you, be the first one to tell you, it's no excuse. I need to keep my control, but it is what it is. It's part of baseball, and we elected to pull him at that point, and allowed Caden Du Bois to come in to finish the game, and Caden did a fine job at that.
But it was a key play in the game, the interference call, because the bunt was down. It would have probably been a good sacrifice bunt or maybe even a base hit, Coach. He runs over Bronson, and the runner at first base, who went all the way to third, has to come back because when it's interference, the play is dead, runner is out, and the hitter's out, and the runners have to return to their normal bases. A little confusion on that by Coach Baus, wasn't there?
Yeah, it was. It was kind of confusing all the way around, but according to what I've seen, it looks like the right call was made. Like I said, it was just mass chaos because the runner, I think, was trying to steal while it was happening, and it was just, there was a little bit of confusion, but nonetheless, it was good to see us, kind of get out of that and avoid any major damage because, like you said, had that continued. We could be talking on the other side of the fence, and Cuba could be winning. So, but yeah, it's just part of baseball. We always say it's a game of inches, and that definitely was an inch or two. So, like I said, we'll take the win, and we're looking forward to playing a good game today against Sullivan.
Let's talk a little bit about that fifth inning. Trey Richter leads off with a hard ground ball to second baseman Duarte, who had played a very good game up to that point. I don't know, the ball skipped a little bit on him, hit his glove, went in the outfield, and Trey reaches. You have Caden Mood, one of your better hitters on the team, bunting him over to get him to second base to set up for Caden Du Bois, who has hit well at Owensville in the past. And Coach, he comes through with a big hit for you. High fly ball right down the left field line. I mean, when it first left his bat, I thought it had a chance to jump out of there, then realized it was going to fall short, but there was no way the left fielder who was playing out in left center was ever going to catch it. So that's a huge hit, wasn't it?
Yeah, it definitely was. I knew that, when Trey had that, was able to get on with that contact he made, that I knew right away that, we were playing for a run right there. So, we had Moody, who's a pretty good bunter as well. He was able to sacrifice and, move Trey up to second. And we had the heart of the order coming up with 3, 4, and 5. Caden and Owen and Cash have all been pretty steady with their bats this season. So, we liked our chances, and Caden was able to be patient and got got a pitch that he liked on the inner half and was able to turn on it and was able to get a rally going. So, yeah, it was a good piece hitting by Caden, and but even better start by Trathan to kind of get that inning going.
Then you got Owen that comes up, hits a hard grounder to third base. The third baseman did everything right except his throw to first base. And this is one thing we see in high school a lot. He looked the runner back, Caden, he looked him back, but then he lost his concentration on throwing to first base, throws it bad, and then you end up with guys at second and third base. Coach, you couldn't ask for a better gift.
Yeah, no, you can't. And, to be honest with you, Stan, we've been on the other side of that fence before defensively where we've experienced that ourselves. So, yeah, that's something with baseball is the key is to, put the bat on the ball and make the defense make the mistake. We've always talked about, the defense has to do, 2 or 3 things. They got to be able to field the ball, throw the ball, and catch the ball. And, if you can hit the ball hard somewhere, your percentages are you're likely to increase to get on base if you hit the ball hard like that. So, yeah, it was a good little break for us. Unfortunate for Cuba, but like I said, nonetheless, we'll definitely take it because we've certainly ran into some bad luck ourselves down the road.
Well, we've talked earlier this year about Cash Howard, and you had told me you guys had worked together to try and get him to go up the middle and to the left side. And when they pulled the infield in, Coach, he got a fastball, very first pitch, and he absolutely drilled it right between third base and shortstop. You couldn't have asked for a better placed hit, could you?
No. Cash has done a terrific job this season of kind of piecing things together with his stick. He's starting to learn. Very coachable kid. He's willing to listen. And when you coach a kid to anytime the ball's to pitch away, just hit it away. Try not to do too much. And he's understanding it. He's getting it right now, and he's in a groove. So good for Cash, and hopefully he can continue to build his confidence up as we play Sullivan today. So hopefully we'll keep the bats rolling and see if we can get a win.
So you got a 2-1 lead. You've got a man at third, Owen Hamilton, and you got Corby Ball at the plate. And Coach, whether it's a suicide squeeze or a safety squeeze, Owen is on his way to the plate. And Corby lays down an absolutely perfect bunt.
Yeah, that was something that was tossing through my head. I knew that being up by a run and bottom half of the lineup coming up, I thought there's. 1-run lead is it's not enough insurance because you never just know it's district play. So yeah, we called a little aggressive play there with the bunt and the squeeze home, and we were very fortunate. Corby laid out a terrific bunt, like you said, and was able to get that run in, and pretty much from that point on, it kind of sent a vibe through our dugout that hey, this is awesome, we've got this, and let's close it out, and our players did that. So very proud of the guys, the way they played, the way they stepped up. The pitching and hitting was pretty solid all the way through, and and again, our fielding it's been getting better. So that's one of those things. Like we're facing against a team with Sullivan. If you're going to want to be a team like that, you're going to have to play well in all 3 phases. So it's going to be a tough little matchup, but it's one that we're certainly up for.
Let's talk just a little bit about, so you got a 3-1 lead. Caden Du Bois is coming into the game, and he shuts them down 1, 2, 3, and that's huge. But then, Coach, it's starting the 6th inning, got Riley bounced up. You know that he can hit the ball, and I mean to tell you, he smoked one right down the right field line, and one of the best defensive plays this year was Owen Hamilton making that headlong dive, and he snared that ball, Coach. That had to be a relief to you.
Oh, yeah, definitely. That was, to me, that play right there was kind of like a game maker for us. I mean, because had that gotten down the line, the momentum could have switched really quickly. Anytime, you're a coach and you're sitting there watching your first baseman dive after a ball and making a great play, you can't do nothing but be like a proud papa there. So, yeah, it was good to see, fun to watch, and, I like to see our defense improve the way it has been the last few games. So, like I said, hopefully we can continue to play solid defense and keep putting the bat on the ball and continue with our good pitching.
So then Caden's still pitching in the 7th inning, and you get one of those little chintzy hits that they, we've seen them on AstroTurf hits before. gets the next guy, but then walks the next two, Coach. I mean, you got to be kind of ringing out there. You got a 2-run lead, bases loaded, 1 out, and one of the better hitters that they have, and the Hendricks kid, and he smokes a 1-hopper right back at Caden and turns a very calm and cool 1-2-3 double play. Coach, you had to be super proud at that time.
Yeah, it was. It got to a point where I was, it kind of even keeled. As a coach, you don't ever really get to let the highs get too high or let the lows get too low. And when we had first and second off 1 out, you're sitting there thinking to yourself, all right, we're just going to have to keep the ball down and try to get a ground ball or a strikeout, because we definitely don't want these guys bases low with 1 out, because it could turn on you in a heartbeat
real quick.
And we were pretty fortunate. Caden pitched a well pitched ball right there. The ball was down. Only thing you could do with it was to chop it and hit it hard on the ground, and that's what we were looking for, was a ground ball. And like I said, it just so happened it came back to Caden perfectly, so he was able to turn that beautiful 1-2-3 double play in the game. So yeah, it was a good win. We've actually stumbled upon about 2 or 3 of those double plays, those 1-2-3s the last couple of games. So we think we've got that double play figured out. But yeah, it was a good win nonetheless.
We know Sullivan and the Eagles, and we've played them many times. We played them at their place in a very tight ball game. We've played them in many years in the past in district play. We've played them in non-district play. We played them in tournament play. This is a team the Tigers are familiar with, but it's always going to be a tough game against Sullivan no matter what.
Oh, 100%. Coach Whitson down at Sullivan, he's got a good young group, and they're pretty well solid at all 3 phases. They usually play good defense. They have solid pitching, and they got guys that can hit. And in order for us to beat a good team like Sullivan, we have to match that. And we've talked about that. They, if we don't match the intensity that they have, it could be another 10-3 game on their side, and we don't want that. So, yeah, it's one of those games where I think it's anybody's game if where everybody's focused and got their heads on straight. And I think as long as our pitchers go out and throw strikes and we're putting the bat on the ball, we're going to be in this ball game and definitely give ourselves a chance. So we'll see what happens going today against Sullivan.
All right, Coach. The very best in district play against the Eagles at Sullivan. Good luck, Coach.
Thanks, Sam. Appreciate it.
Stay tuned. Tiger District Baseball. It is next.
That has been Tiger Talk with Salem head baseball coach Tony Edwards. And now, Salem Tiger Baseball on KSMO and KSMO Media.
Out of town and want to know what's going on in Salem, how the Salem Tigers did, or who may have passed away? There's only one way to get that information quickly, and that's by going to Your World Today online. Go to KSMORadio.com and click on the Your World Today button, and you'll get the latest edition online, or check out the Your World Today archives. And if you are in town, pick one up in any of the 30-plus locations in Salem and Bunker. Your World Today, they're free. Have you seen Town Screen yet? It's one of the most affordable ways to get your message out in the community. With strategically placed vertical screens in numerous locations in Salem, check it out at the Salem Community Center at the Armory, Aranda's Mexican Restaurant, and Taxmasters, just to name a few. Find out more about how you can use Town Screen for everything local. Stop by 800 South Main or call 636-338-1199. Hometown created and maintained. Town Screen in Salem.
You're listening to Salem Tiger Baseball on KSMO AM 1340 and 95.7 and streaming on KSMORadio.com and our KSMO stream page on Facebook. Brought to you as a courtesy of K&H Auto Supply, Town and Country Bank, Salem Memorial Hospital, Salem Memorial Clinic, Farm Bureau Insurance, Country Mart, the Bank of Salem, Napa Mooney Auto Supply, Your World Today, Progressive Ozark Bank, Town Screen LLC, City of Salem, Town and Country Insurance, Taxmasters, Southwest Baptist University Salem Campus, Terrell Complete Auto Care, Edward Jones, Duncan Family Chiropractic, Jadwin and Smith Auto Body, State Farm Insurance, Stephen Patterson, Attorney at Law, Salem Trust, Cuddy's Well Service and Plumbing LLC, Enrichment Services, Dent County Vet Clinic, Aligned by Design Chiropractic, and Hometown Mechanical.
Welcome to Owensville. It's Tiger Baseball on KSMO Radio, AM 1340, FM 95.7, and streaming the audio on KSRadio.com and KSMO Stream Facebook page or on Misha.tv. It's an 0-2 count to Trey Richter. We got underway a little early, trying to beat some weather here, and a line drive by Richter up the middle for a base hit. Cambrian Koch hung one, and Trey Richter singles up the middle on an 0-2 count. And the Tigers start out with a base hit by their leadoff man, Trey Richter. Caden Moody will stand in. Field's in pretty good shape. We've been having a off and on little mist and drizzle, but otherwise not too bad. Cloudy, overcast skies have been the rule. The lights are on here at Owensville as Cambrian Koch is on the hill for Sullivan. The pitch comes home. A bunt attempt by Moody. He missed it for strike one. It's Koch on the hill. He's being caught by Jordan Rice, their catcher. And then around the infield, you have Lane Blankenship at first. At second base, Nolan Ulrich. At third, Chase Blue. At shortstop, Gavin Schmidt. Koch looks in, gets the sign. Moody crowding that plate. Throw over to first base. And gets away, and Richter will go down to second base on the errant throw. Actually went off the glove of the first baseman. I won't give the error to the first baseman. That was not that bad a throw. But it came back in with the body of Trey Richter and escaped and went off his glove over to the screen. Well, again, that's from our angle. Now, I don't know the other angles. Might be a different story, but we'll give the initial error to the first baseman. The throw is about shoulder high. There should have been no problem catching that ball. Moody waits, runner at second base, nobody out. The pitch. The pitch on the inside corner is called a strike. Caden had shown bunt on the first attempt, did not show that on that time. Tigers and Sullivan Eagles. This is the semifinal district play earlier today. St. James beat Owensville 6-4. The pitch, swing and a miss on a high fastball. Moody down on strikes. First strikeout for Koch. A very good pitcher. And Caden DuBois will stand in. He will be starting today on the hill. Caden finished up the game on Saturday in the 3-1 win over Cuba. DuBois right-handed batter. Working from the stretch, Koch brings it home. Fastball's high. They give DuBois right center. He's hit a couple out there in this ballpark before. We'll give you the dimensions of the field here in a minute and the outfielders for Sullivan. As Koch brings it home. That's a strike at the knees. Out in left field, it's Dayton Skaggs. Out in right field, Mitchell Garner. And in center, Seth Valley. 315 down the right field line. 300 down the left field line. Dead center, it's 350. Richter at second. The pitch comes in. A pop-up foul and backing out of play. 1-2 the count. Just underway here at Owensville. District baseball action. DuBois waits. Richter reached on a base hit and error. And he waits at second base. Check swing by DuBois on a high fastball. 2-2. Cambrian Koch, right-handed pitcher, has good stuff. Trying to keep Richter close at second base. They jockey back and forth as the pitch comes home. That's high again, 3-2. Both Schmidt and Ulrich are trying to keep Richter close. So they keep moving back and forth, and they could be out of position when a ball is hit. The 3-2 comes home to DuBois. A swing and a miss on a curve. DuBois down on the off-speed pitch. And Owen Hamilton will stand in. He stayed back on it, just didn't make contact. So Koch with 2 strikeouts has Hamilton standing in. Owen, big right-handed batter. Richter at second. He was there with nobody out. Still there at 2 out. Pitch to Hamilton, high with a fastball. We'll have Cardinal Baseball on the radio side on, and right after this, we'll join that game in progress with Milwaukee. Just gets underway here. Owen Hamilton waits. Fastball high again, 2-0. Cash Howard waits on deck. Artificial turf on the infield here at Owensville. Natural grass in the outfield. It's all, for those watching, it's all colored brown on the infield. Green on the sidelines. Check swing, but a strike by Hamilton on the outside corner. One on, two out. Richter at second base. Schmidt taps his glove behind him, trying to get his attention. Hamilton wiggles that bat. He's ready. The 2-1. Curve, perfect curve. In there for a strike. Oh, and looking for something hard. Got something soft. Broke right across the inside edge. 2-2. Pitch to Owen. Low. Whoa. Just on the inside corner. Strike three call. Looked a little bit low, but the umpire calls him out on that pitch on the inside edge, and the Tigers cannot score. No runs, a hit, one error, and one man left. We've now played a half an inning. We go to the bottom of the first inning. Salem Tigers nothing. Sullivan coming to bat. We'll be back in a minute. This is Tiger Sports on KSMO Media.
Hi, Carrie Patton here from Town & Country Bank. We've got all the perks of a national bank, like online banking, quick loan approval, and you can even deposit your check from your phone. That's not why our customers love us, though. They love us because we still offer hometown customer service. Stop by one of our area locations and let our friendly team remind you how special hometown banking can be. Smart, friendly solutions. Town & Country Bank. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
There's a place for do-it-yourselfers with everything for your car or truck.
It's Clean Car Month at K&H Auto Supply in Salem, where you'll find Pro X 1 car wash, 2 for $15. Superior Coverall Tire Shine, 2 for $18. And Rain-X 2-in-1 Glass Cleaner for $7.49. K&H Auto Supply, your Parts City Auto Parts store right here in Salem.
Parts City. Yeah, Parts City. Parts City.
Salem Tigers back on defense now for the first time today. They played a very good defensive game on Saturday. And today, here is the defense. At first base, it will be Owen Hamilton. Over at second base, it'll be Roy Stevens. At third base, Landon Richter gets that start. And at shortstop, Trey Richter. In right field, it'll be Cash Howard. In left field, it's Corby Ball. I'm going there. And Caden Moody in center. Hayden Sanders behind the plate. Caden Du Bois starting out on the hill today for the Salem Tigers. It'll be Koch starting things out, followed by Gavin Schmidt and then Chase Blue here in the first inning. Salem had a leadoff single, but stranded Trey Richter. Standing in and popping up the first pitch and near the dugout, and an effort made by Richter to go over the fence. It just falls a little bit short. Landon tried to climb that fence, but just couldn't make connection. Ball missed his glove by about 3 or 4 inches. Good job, good effort by Landon Richter. Cole gets back in. Right-handed batter crowds that plate. Slightly open stance. And the pitch comes in. It's outside, just off the plate. 1-1 to count. Koch ready. So is Du Bois. A line drive into center field. Going back and making the catch is Moody. Line out to Moody in center field is Cambrian Koch. And there's one out. Ball is hit well, but right at Koch. Du Bois with a 3.13 ERA coming into the game. Has given up a total of 28 hits on the year and 24 runs and 100. Let's see. They've left 27 on. Pitch comes in, a swing and a miss to Schmidt, 0-1. Gavin playing shortstop today. We're in the bottom of the first inning. Big gap in right center of the pitch. Curveball inside. 1-1. Howard playing straightaway right field. Moody shading Schmidt to left center. Pitch from Du Bois outside corner for strike 2. A moist day. Hate that term sometimes, but that's really what it is. It's not really wet and it's not really dry. There's a line fly ball in the left center field. Moody on a run. It's over his head. One hops the fence. Schmidt's going to end up with a double. Cade got a good jump. He just couldn't get there in time. And Schmidt doubles to left center, and Chase Blue will stand in. Looked like Du Bois took a little something off, and looked like Schmidt was ready for it. And he drilled it in the left center field. It's about 345 out there in left center. And he one-hopped that ball off the fence, and Moody got in quickly. And there's a high fly ball in the right center field. Moody's on the run. He's not going to get that one. That's going to one-hop the fence. Runner's going to score, trying to go for 3 as Blue throw over there is not in time. It's a triple for Chase Blue, and it's 1-0 Sullivan. That ball was up, and Chase took it to right center. We talked about a little gap out there. That ball is placed between Howard and Moody. Caden had no chance to get to that one, and that one also one-hopped the fence out there in front of the light standard. Tigers got it in, had a good shot at third base. Ball was just a little high and a little bit late. Being that it was high, he couldn't get the tag down in time. Had that ball been on the bag, that might have been a bang-bang play. But it's 1-0 Sullivan. The pitch comes home. Inside fastball to Dayton Skaggs. Skaggs are left fielder. So 2 extra base hits back-to-back here for Sullivan in this first inning. Du Bois looks in, brings it. Swing and a miss. Good fastball inside corner. 1-1. Eagles on top. They're the number 1 seed in this district. And the winner of this game will play St. James on Thursday afternoon. Pitch, high pop fly into right field. Cash Howard almost in his tracks, tagging. Make the catch is made. Blue will come home, and the throw is cut off. It's 2-0. Sacrifice fly by Skaggs. So Blue drives in a run with a triple, and then Skaggs drives in a run with a fly ball. Mitchell Garner, the right fielder, fouls it back with a hard swing on inside fastball. Koch lined out to center. Schmidt doubled to left center. Blue tripled to right center. Skaggs flew out to right. Du Bois ready. The next one comes in. That's a strike on the outside corner. Ball deep and left. Moody has backed up a step or two in center now. And Howard fairly deep in right. The pitch fouled back again. Again, Garner does not get sheeted. He swings mightily at that ball. Did not make contact. He wiggles the bat. Tall right-handed batter waits. Here it comes. Swing and a miss on a straight change. Maybe a curveball, but Garner down on strikes. First strikeout for Du Bois, but 2 runs on 2 hits. No errors, nobody left. We have now played 1 full inning. It's Sullivan 2, Salem nothing. We'll come back in a minute. This is Tiger Baseball on KSMO Media.
Are you diabetic? Do you have heart disease? Or another condition where nutrition intervention is needed? This is Jason Edwards, clinical dietitian at Salem Memorial District Hospital. We understand that illnesses should not be tackled alone. Talk to your physician about your circumstances and see if I can help. For any questions, give us a call at 729-6626. The Salem Memorial District Hospital. Every patient, every encounter, every time.
We are Missouri Farm Bureau Insurance, and we're here for all of life's wins. Like when you get a new car, or new boat, or new driver, or when your son moves out but your mom moves in, or you find out you're expecting again. or when one rental property turns into 2, then 20, or you realize they're all in Tornado Alley. Life is full of life events. Make sure you have the right policy for each of life's wins.
A life event could qualify you for a discount. Call me, Willie Strader, your Missouri Farm Bureau insurance agent, and we will make sure you have the coverage you need.
We're back at Owensville. Cash Howard to lead off for the Salem Tigers, trailing Sullivan 2-0. Cambrian Coke on the hill. Howard, left-handed batter, lines one into left center, right center field. Going back, and over the head of the center fielder is Valley, and Howard's going to end up at second with a leadoff double. Cash Howard, who took that one right back up the middle, drilled it over the head of Valley. I don't think Valley expected that ball to carry as well as it did, and it jumped over his head. Ball carrying very well so far this evening, both for Sullivan, now Salem as well. Hayden Sanders will stand in. Pretty shallow still in the outfield for Sullivan. The pitch to Sanders, low and away. Good scoop up there by Jordan Rice. Salem down 2-0. Try and get a run back here or two. Leadoff double by Howard, and Sanders will put his hand up and call for time, and the umpire grants his request. Koch looks in, gets the sign from Rice. He's ready. Howard at second base. The pitch comes home. Swing and a miss. Good fastball up in the strike zone. Hayden swung through it, 1-1. Deep at third. Jockeying back and forth again at second base. The pitch to Sanders, a foul back. Had a good pitch there on the inside half. Missed it. Hayden slaps the bat, I think in a little bit of anger. Thought he should have probably drove that one. Fence is very reachable on a night like this right now. 300 feet down the line is not out of the question. Pitch from Koch. Foul off to the right side, backing out of play. Howard at second base. Claps his hands, rooting on Hayden Sanders. Tigers scored 3 runs in 1 inning on Saturday to win the game 3-1. They trail 2-0 here. The pitch, swing and a miss. Sanders down on strikes. 4th strikeout for Koch. As he just changed speeds on that fastball just a little bit. I won't say he threw a changeup. But instead of a, we'll say, premium fastball, he kind of got the unleaded one. Standing in is Corby Ball. Pitch to Corby, high and outside. Corby comes into the game batting 176, but he put down a perfect bunt on Saturday to drive in a run. Nice cushion for the Tigers there, a 3-1 lead. Pitch to Ball comes in. High foul off to the right side. That curveball by Koch hung up there, and Corby missed it. Like Corby's trying to go a little bit to right field. They play him to pull just slightly. Koch waits, now gets the sign, brings it home. A swing and a miss. 1-2, blew that one by Corby. Just got to make contact, let the players play, and let the fielders feel, and let the pitchers pitch. But the hitters have to hit. Pitch to Ball, swing and a miss on one out of the strike zone. Sailed up and away. That ball was tailing away from Corby Ball, but he went after it. 5 strikeouts for Koch. All 5 putouts for Salem have been strikeouts. Landon Richter from the left side stands in. So another man at second base to lead off the inning. Started there with nobody out. Now 2 out again for Richter. Richter playing third base today, batting 8th. Roy Stevens on deck. For Sullivan in their second inning, it will be Valley, Parker, and Ulrich. 2-0 Eagles. Pitch. Fastball a little bit high. Richter keeps up on that plate. about even with it with the body. Leans over the plate just a little. Pitch to him. Hits the plate, goes straight up in the air, and unable to find it is the catcher Rice. Going down to third base will be Howard. Ball hit the front of the plate. The plate here at Owensville is actually on top of the turf. Now, that's not supposed to be that way. But it is. And that ball hit the rubber in the front part, bounced straight up in the air. Rice found it finally, but not until Howard got to third base. So man at third, 2 out, 2-0 to count. Koch looks in, Rice with the sign. Pitch, that's a strike. Good fastball. Richter looked like he was taking all the way. Salem needs a couple here. They're down by 2. Chip away, get 1 here, 1 there. That's all you need to do. Pitch to Richter. There's a little ball off the end of the bat to the third baseman. A lot of spin on that ball. Throws high and safe. It's 2-1. Chase Blue had all kinds of trouble. That ball's off the end of the bat. Told you about the spin on it. He got it, and by the time he was able to throw it, Richter beat it out. Well, it wasn't a bad throw, so I'm giving him a base hit and an RBI. Bobbled out off that turf, but that ball was spinning like crazy. Roy Stevens takes a curve in for a strike. One thing about AstroTurf, it's unforgiving on that kind of spin. You hit off a cue shot off the end of a bat, and it's just going to sit and spin and turn and twist. When it hits dirt, it usually stops. Swing and a miss by Stevens on a fastball, 0-2. It doesn't stop in place on dirt. It hits and spins a little, but it doesn't continue to roll like it will on AstroTurf. Man at first base, Landon Richter. 2-1 Eagles. Timeout called by Stevens. Put the ball in play. That's all you ask the batter to do. You just never know what's going to happen. Throw over and back in time is Richter. Two for Sullivan in the bottom of the first, 1 here for Salem, top of the second. 0-2 count to Stevens. Koch checks, ready, brings it. Just missed outside. Rice tried to pull that one back up, showed the umpire really wasn't that far outside, but he wasn't buying it. 1-2 the count. Trey Richter, the leadoff man, is on deck if Stevens can keep it going. And the pitch from Koch to Stevens. Here it comes. Strike 3 call this time. 6 strikeouts. 2 of them called strikeouts for Koch. And the Tigers do get a run. They do so on 2 hits, no errors, and 1 man left. We played an inning and a half, 2-1. Sullivan will come right back in a minute. This is Tiger Baseball on KSMO Media.
Don't have any time to fix anything to eat, and you're looking for something to munch on? Well, at Country Mart in Salem, you'll find Glenn's Smokehouse mouth-watering pork steaks, baby back ribs, pulled pork, and so much more. Plus, in a deli, you'll find breakfast, lunch, and dinner every day, and your favorite deli meats and cheeses. Country Mart also has a bakery for your pies, cakes, and decorated cakes, donuts, and breads. So stop by Country Mart on Highway 3272 East in Salem today. They're here to help you save.
At the Bank of Salem, keeping your account safe and secure is our highest priority. We're adding text fraud alerts as part of our debit card protection program. If Shazam, our debit card processor, suspects fraudulent activity on your debit card, you may be alerted via text message or phone call. Ask a Bank of Salem employee today. Remember, we will never request card or account information via text, phone, or email. The Bank of Salem, putting our customers first since 1883. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
To the bottom of the second we go. 2-1 Sullivan. It'll be Seth Valley leading it off. Valley, right-handed batter. First pitch, a little bit low. Caden Du Bois on the hill for the Salem Tigers. Brings it in. It's still a little bit low. 2-0 the count. Dylan Parker waits on deck. He's the DH on an overcast night. A foul down the right side. Look out, car coming in the parking lot. Ball missed it. They give Valley right center. Howard way over in right field. The 2-1 count. A ground ball foul. That's 2-2. Salem and Sullivan, these two teams have battled numerous times. And the Eagles lately have had the edge. Du Bois ready, the pitch. Outside fastball, missed. A little bit high, 3-2. Valley playing center field. Where's number 5? He's ready, right-handed batter, here it comes. And a high pop-up, short right field. Coming in is Howard, battles and makes the catch. Dylan Parker will stand in. Valley got underneath that one and skied it. No rain currently falling, it doesn't appear. At this time, we've had a little fine mist and kind of that moisture in the air, that feeling of constant humidity. Dylan Parker stands in, takes a fastball high. Parker wears number 3. He's DHing today for Lane Blankenship, who's playing first base. Pitch from Du Bois, and there's a ground ball up the middle to Richter, right off his hand. That's off his bare hand. That's going to leave a mark. Trey Richter got eaten up, tried to close the hand on the glove, and he got a little bit early. That'll be an error on Trey Richter. Trey with the error. That is his 20th error of the year. Leonard tries to start going, throw to first base. They need to get down to second base. They do, and the tag is made. He is out. Parker got off first base and then slid on the damp AstroTurf. And Sanders picked him off. He threw down to Owen, who then fired it over to Trey Richter for the putout. The putout goes 2-3-6 if you're keeping score. And Nolan Ulrich will stand in again. 1-0 the count, the pitch, high 2-0. So that erases the error. Next one, that's high, 3-0. Tigers in the outfield, but they still leave right center field. The pitch comes home. That's inside corner for a strike. Ulrich taking all the way. Jordan Rice is on deck. 2 down. We're in the second inning. 2-1 Eagles. Pitch from Du Bois. That's just low on the outside edge, and that'll be a 2-out walk. Sanders tried to frame it, did not get the call. So Rice will stand in. Jordan does the catching for Sullivan. So Parker reached on the area, eliminate on the pickoff. Ulrich walks with 2 down. There's a ground ball up the middle to Stevens. He has it, flips to Richter for the out. Rice grounds out, fielder's choice as the Ulrich is forced 4-6 on that putout. No runs, no hits, an error, man picked off, 1 left on a walk, and we play 2 full innings. We go to the top of the third inning. It's 2-1. Sullivan will come back in 1 minute. This is Tiger Baseball on KSMO Media.
May savings are going on right now in Napa Auto Parts Store in Salem. where you'll find a Chemical Guys complete car wash and detailing shine kit for $49.99. Napa Green 50/50 pre-diluted antifreeze and coolant $9.99 for the 1 gallon size, and Napa Premium Performance Gear Oil only $5.69 for the quart size. Stop by Napa Auto Parts Store at 604 East Scenic Rivers Boulevard in Salem today.
This is family nurse practitioner Terry Bruno from SMDH Family Medicine. If your family is in need of a medical provider, I'm accepting new patients of all ages. Our clinic is located at Physician's Office Building number 3 on the SMDH campus. We accept Medicare, Medicaid, and all private and other insurance. Please call 729-8000 to set up an appointment. Salem Memorial District Hospital. Every patient, every encounter, every time.
We go to the top of the third inning. It'll be the top of the order for the Salem Tigers. Trey Richter, Caden Moody, and Caden Du Bois. They trail it by 1. RBI single by Landon Richter, a 2-out in that second inning. Trying to even up what Sullivan got back in the first. Cambrian Koch back to the hill. Richter greeted him with a leadoff single to start this game. Right up the middle. He got to second base on an error and was stranded back in the first inning. They play Richter really shallow in the outfield. He's got some pop, and he hits this one in the right center. That's going to gap him. And is it going to be cut off? No, Richter's going to try for 2 to throw to second base. He is safe. It'll be a hit and an error as the right fielder got over Garner but dropped the ball. I think Trey was going to try for 2 irregardless, but that drop of the ball made the difference. And maybe he saw that and made the turn anyway. So base hit and error. And again, a man at second base, and nobody out for Caden Moody, who struck out his first time. All the Tiger outs have been by strikeouts, by the way. And there's a pop-up on the infield. Throwing out very shallow, and making the catch is Ulrich at second base. Moody popped it up, tried to go to right center just like Richter did, but got underneath it. And Caden Du Bois will stand in. Caden's got a little pop in that bat. Has the only home run for the Tigers this year. Well, that home run came at Salem. Pitch to Caden. High with a fastball. Richter trying to create some havoc at second base. 2-1, Eagles on top. Tigers trying to get even here in the second or third and possibly take the lead. Pitch to Du Bois. There's a grounder in the hole, taken there by the third baseman. The throw across is in time. Richter to third base. He is there safely. Du Bois is out 5-3, and then Richter went over to third after the throw. Owen Hamilton will stand in. It's a good play by Chase Blue. Tried to look Richter back. He baited him as long as he could. Nobody got behind him at second base, and not much Blue could do besides throw the runner out. Pitch to Hamilton is a high fastball. Missed on the outside edge. Owen Hamilton comes in. He's got 18 hits on the year. Hits this one in short right field. That one might fall, and coming on and diving for it. It falls off the glove of Garner. We're tied at 2-2. Garner dove for it. I don't know if he ever caught it. The ball was ending up right in front of him. So I'm going to give Hamilton a base hit and an RBI, and we're tied at 2-2. And I think they're going to go check on Garner. He's seems a little stressed out there in right field. He may have landed weird on his shoulder. Seems to be, or his hand. Diving is an art. If you don't dive right, you can jam a wrist. You can hurt your shoulder. And that was not a comfortable dive for Mitchell Garner, but he did not make the catch either. And so that might be part of the reason why he may have gotten his hand trapped underneath him. They're going to replace him. It's like he's going to come out of the game. So Garner's going to come out of the ball game. And coming in is Lucas Parsons. So Garner came in a short right center field on a short pop. Tried to dive for it, ended up rolling over on his hand. Did not make the catch. Falls off the bat of Owen Hamilton to tie it up 2-2 here. Here in the top of the third. So Parsons now in right field. Cash Howard stands in. He doubled to center field his first time up. Cash starting to find that stroke. He's got a sweet swing. He can go the other way. He can pull it. The pitch comes in. Low goes through the catcher's legs. Rice, Hamilton did not try and advance because it came off the padding here quickly. And Rice was able to pick it up, and Owen elected not to try and advance. One and 0 to count to Howard. Cash doubled and scored back in the second. The pitch to Cash, Howard. There's a line drive base hit into right field. Try and get the guy at second on the force, but it was too late as Parsons gets it in. Howard rips that one into right field, and Hayden Sanders will stand in with 2 on, 2 out. 2-2 ball game. So Koch, who has struck out 6 in this game, is watching the Tigers start tee off a little bit on him. Sanders, a strikeout victim, back in the second. Right-handed batter. Hamilton at second base. Cash Howard at first. Cambrian Koch checks, and now Sanders calls timeout. He took too much time. We're in the third inning, 2-2 game. Sanders waits. Pitch comes home. Swing and a miss. Good fastball, good swing. Hayden in the front part of that plate, right up on top of the plate, and in the front part of that batter's box. Short lead by Owen and also by Cash at first and second. The pitch, foul off to the right side on a curveball. 2 down, 0-2 the count to Hayden Sanders. Corby Ball would be next if Hayden can keep it alive. Be top of the order for Sullivan coming up in the third. 2-2 our score. Salem with runs in the second and third to tie it up. Pitch to Sanders, high and away. Koch tried to have him chase that one outside. He didn't do it. Hayden waits. Pitch from Koch. Line drive is a fair. No, I have a pull right there. It's a foul ball. One of the disadvantages of our broadcast area, 2 poles. That one was right where that ball landed, and it was very close. The umpire looked like he was going to start pointing fair. That's why I called it that. And then he put his hand straight up in the air like you're supposed to, indicating foul ball. 1-2 the count to Sanders. He ripped that ball. That ball was tagged. Koch checks. Brings it to Hayden. Outside and low. Gets scooped there by Jordan Rice. And we have no dirt here. Remember, it's all AstroTurf on the infield. Even though it's colored brown, that's turf. And the green turf in front of the dugouts around the home plate area and all the way out to the outfield grass. The 2-2 pitch comes home. Swing and a foul. Sanders stays alive. Pitch kind of hung a little bit. Jordan got a good rip at it, but fouled it back. Right center field is the biggest open field for Sanders. Cambrian Koch waits, looks, checks. Brings it. Foul off to the right side. Fastball trying to challenge Hayden Sanders. Hayden fouls it back. 2-2 the count. 2-2 the score. 2 on. Lots of twos out there. The pitch, low, 3-2 now. This will allow the Tigers to get the advantage here, as with a 3-2 count, Hamilton and Howard will be able to get a start. See if Hayden can put one in play. Cambrian Koch looks in, the sign from Rice. The pitch to Sanders. No, instead a fake back to second base, and Howard needs to be cautious there. They could fake that back and go to first base. He actually started to run. The 3-2, strike 3 call. Heck of a curveball. Sanders caught looking. 7 strikeouts now. A heck of a pitch, though. And a heck of a battle between Hayden Sanders and Cambrian Koch, but Koch wins this one. But the Tigers tie the game up. 1 run, 3 hits, 1 error, and 2 left. Salem has left 4 in the game. We go to the bottom of the 3rd inning with this one all knotted up. 2 for Salem, 2 for Sullivan. Back in a minute. This is Tiger Baseball on KSMO Media.
This is Mike Elliott from Town & Country Insurance. As an independent agent, we shop many different companies, allowing us to find the best value for our clients. Town & Country Insurance has been serving South Central Missouri since 1963. We have offices in Salem, Rolla, Licking, and Mountain Grove, and would welcome an opportunity to show you what we can do for you. Stop by 400 West Scenic Rivers Boulevard, located inside the Town & Country Bank, or you can call our office at 729-6624.
There's a lot to do at the newly renovated Salem City Park. Headlining the activities is the totally rejuvenated Alice Lou Craig Municipal Pool that offers visitors and residents of all ages a full day of fun. The park also includes a brand new splash pad adjacent to Billy's Playground, Salem's new all-accessible playground where children with different abilities can play together. The park has numerous ball fields as well as pavilions that are available to rent for private outings. For more information about the Salem City Park, visit the Salem Park and Recreation Facebook page online.
The score of any athletic event is generally forgotten over time, but the actions of players, coaches, and spectators does leave lasting impressions. And the next time you attend a high school game, think of how history is going to remember you. Choose good sportsmanship and help rekindle the spirit of citizenship. And remember, the lessons you teach today will help develop some better citizens in our community for tomorrow. This message brought to you by all of us at KSMO and your friends at the Missouri State High School Activities Association. Pitch comes in, a ground ball at Richter at third. He has it, throw across, scooped out by Hamilton. He steps on the bag for the out. Landon Richter throws out Cambrian Koch on the first pitch. And Gavin Schmidt, who doubled into left center, will stand in. Landon Richter stayed down that hard hit 2-hopper at him. Schmidt gets the pitch. It hits a high pop fly, short center field. Going out is Richter. Coming in is Moody, and Moody makes the catch. 2 pitches, 2 out, and Chase Blue will stand in. Schmidt got one up from Du Bois and hit it a mile high. Allowed Cade Moody a long time to come in and make the catch. And now Chase Blue, who tripled the right center, stands in. Du Bois ready, brings it home. Low and outside. Well, it won't be a 3-pitch inning. Those pitch counters, it would have made it real easy. Next one. Ground ball in the hole and off the glove of Richter in the left field for a base hit. Not sure Landon could have thrown him out. Blue with a single. in the left field, and Dayton Skaggs will stand in. He flied out to right. So 2-out single. Landon went into the hole, got a glove on it, but just the very edge of it. And Skaggs, who flew out to right for a sacrifice fly back in the first, stands in. Du Bois brings it, and there's a high fly ball in the deep left field. Ball back. This one might go, and it's gone. Skaggs went down and got that one and drilled it out to left center field, and it's 4-2. I won't say it was a no-doubter, but pretty much about as much a no-doubter as there can be in high school ball. That ball went out in the left center field, and it ended up in the creek out there. That's 3 RBIs for Skaggs, and that home run drilled after the single off the glove of Richter. Had to get a new baseball for that one. A 2-run home run by Dayton Skaggs. The flag right here at Owensville absolutely still, so there's no assistance of the win here today. So Lucas Parsons will stand in. He came in to play for Mitchell Garner, who got injured, and swings and misses. That pitch was down, and Skaggs went down and got it, elevated, and drove it out in the right or left center field. Corby ball went back, but all he could do was watch. The pitch, that's on the outside corner for a strike. Started out as a great inning for Caden Du Bois. On 2 pitches, he had 2 outs. Single off the glove of Landon Richter, and then the home run. There's a foul back by Parsons. Salem in their 4th inning will have Corby Ball, Landon Richter, and Roy Stevens. Parsons waits, takes that one just outside, I have to assume. Pretty good pitch. 1-2 the count. Du Bois kind of stared in, but did not get the call. Now to Parsons, another curve, and this one a swing and a miss. Good pitch by Du Bois there, and that strikes out Parsons, his 2nd strikeout of the game. But 2 runs, 2 hits, no errors, nobody left. 2-run homer by Dayton Skaggs, and Sullivan has retaken the lead here in the bottom of the 3rd inning. 4-2. We'll come back in a minute. This is Tiger Baseball on KSMO Media.
With tax season fast approaching, you might have some questions that you need answered. If so, give the Tax Masters a call. They have over 40 years of experience and can handle all types of accounting services plus certified e-filing. Don't ever let yourself be a slave to the IRS. Come and see Jackie or Beth at Tax Masters, located at 107 West 4th Street here in Salem, or call 729-3001.
What are your plans for the future? Do you need a boost to generate a new plan, or can't afford to go away to college, or your work schedule won't allow you to go? Let Southwest Baptist University Salem campus be the boost. SBU is committed to flexibility, expertise, and the state-of-the-art technology. We now offer 2 new associate's degrees in teaching and Christian ministries, along with master's degrees in education and business. For more information, please contact admissions counselor Chris Welch to schedule an appointment as a prospective or returning student. You may call 573-729-7071. SBU Salem campus is your higher education with Christian principles.
Here at the top of the 4th, Corby Ball starts things out, and he fouls it back on the first pitch. 4-2 Sullivan, a 2-run blast by Dayton Skaggs. He absolutely earned that home run going down over that low pitch, and he elevated it. There's a foul again off to the right side by Ball. Cambrian Koch back on the mound. Give another 2-run lead again. Got one in the 1st inning. Coughed it up in 2 innings, the Tigers, the 2nd and 3rd, but his teammates got him 2 more. 4-2 our score, top of the 4th inning. Ball waits. Koch didn't like the sign, shook it off, stepped off. He's ready. Now Ball's not ready. Umpire's not very happy about this. Get in the box, get on the mound, get that ball. Let's go. And Cambrian Koch brings it. There's a one-hopper up the middle, taken there by the second baseman Ulrich. The throw to first is in time. 4-3 on the putout. And Landon Richter will stand in. He drove in a run with an infield single off the end of his bat. Landon has got those wheels, beat it out. Third baseman Chase Blush had that ball spinning in his glove and hand, and by the time he could slow it down and get a grip, Richter beating it out. Fastball high. Cambrian Koch taking just an excessive long amount of time between pitches. Nobody on base. There's no reason. Looks in for the sign from Rice. Gets it. He's ready. Pitch low. 2-0. One out. Richter waits. Pitch comes home outside, ball 3. Roy Stevens on deck. Salem has battled back in this one for 2-0 deficit. They tie it at 2-2. Sullivan regains the lead in the bottom of the third. Richter shows bunt. Sits back. Outside corner for a strike. Koch looks in for the sign to Rice. Richter making him work the pitch. That's high, ball 4. 1 out walk. And Roy Stevens will stand in. Salem has continued to battle Cambrian Koch here in this district semifinal. Koch working at Stevens. He struck him out back in the second inning. Big hole on that right side as Blankenship holds on the runner, and Stevens took a crack at that, trying to go out that way. A lot of guys, when they try to go to right, and you'll see a lot, they try and kind of scoop that bat. They kind of uplift it. Instead of just turning the body and guiding it, they actually try and step and then loop. Makes it a little bit harder to have no power at all either. The 0-1 pitch comes home, and now Stevens wanted to ask for time, but that pitch was up and in. 1-1. His time request was not granted by the umpire. Only had one hand on the bat when the ball came in. Again, big hole on that right side. Ulrich not cheating over to that hole at all. Pitch to Stevens, and a foul again to the right side. I think I hit one of the Tiger coaches in the dugout. Ball went into the opening. I think he caught one of them on a foot. Trey Richter on deck. Landon Richter on first base. Short lead, 1-1 to count. 1-2 to count to Roy Stevens. And the pitch from Koch. Here it comes. Swing and a miss. Throw to first base, and back is Richter. Stevens strikes out. 8 strikeouts now for Koch, and Trey Richter, who's singled twice, will stand in. He singled to center, singled to right center. Parsons out in right now. That his single in the right center took Mitchell Garner out of the game on a little pop fly. Or on a line drive out there, and he slipped and dropped the ball. So that didn't take him out of the game, but it may have been a precursor as the problems Garner was having. Pitch, the foul off to the left side as Trey tried to go that way. Landon at first, short lead, 2-run deficit for the Salem Tigers. They trail it 4-2. Moody's on deck if Richter can keep it going. They cheat up the middle, so there are big gaps on both holes, right and left. The pitch inside almost hit him. Good snare, though, by Jordan Rice. He had to reach inside, cross his body as Richter moved out of the way. Landed back in, right on top of that plate. Left-handed batter. Pitch from Cope. There's a high fly ball in the left center field. Going back and making the catch in left field is Dayton Skaggs. So Richter tried to plug the left center field gap, but the ball got up in here just a little too much, and Skaggs over to get it. No runs, no hits, a walk, one left. We've now played a 3.5. To the bottom of the fourth inning we go. Salem Tigers trail Sullivan 4-2. We'll come back in a minute. This is Tiger Baseball on KSMO Media.
Terrell Complete Auto Care is a full-service auto repair center in Salem. They offer full-service oil changes as well as $2 discounts on Tuesdays for all ladies, and Wednesday is Senior Citizen Day. Plus, Terrell Complete Auto Care can take care of all your auto and diesel repair needs. They offer free pickup and delivery in town. Call 729-5761. James and Sheena and the staff of Terrell Complete Auto Care are proud to support the Salem Tigers.
Life is a series of moments. Big moments, small moments, moments you want to bottle up so they can last forever. At Edward Jones, we want to make the most of all of them. Whether you're planning for a trip of a lifetime, retirement, or just need some everyday advice along the way. That's why an Edward Jones financial advisor like me works with you to build strategies for today and tomorrow. Life is for living. Let's partner through all of it. I'm Edward Jones financial advisor Leah Nash. Call me or Joe Brand at Edward Jones, 573-729-3831. Edward Jones, member SIPC.
We go to the bottom of the fourth inning. 4-2 Sullivan. Couple of RBIs, the Tigers, Owen Hamilton and Landon Richter. 3 RBIs for Dayton Skaggs on a sacrifice fly and a 2-run homer. That's the difference in the game right now. Seth Valley, Dylan Parker, and Nolan Ulrich will be up here to face Caden DuBois in the fourth inning. The first pitch comes home and a smash in the right, a base hit. Valley got that outside fastball, just took it to right field. And Parker will stand in. He reached on an error by Trey Richter his last time. Valley got an outside fastball, did what you're supposed to do, just leveled the bat out and took it hard into right field. I don't know what coaches are talking about here. So Parker will stand in. Caden DuBois on the hill for the Salem Tigers. He's into his fourth inning of work. Pitch coming to Parker. Instead, he steps off. Fake the throw to first. Pitch comes home, runner going. The pitch is a strike, throw down there by Sanders. He bobbled the ball. And no chance to get Valley, who does have good speed. So when Sanders bobbled that ball, there's no way of throwing him out. Throw was right on the money, but he was already there. Had a good jump off DuBois as well. Runner in scoring position for Parker. The pitch is low. 1-1. We're in the fourth inning. 4-2 Sullivan Eagles. District semifinal. The winner plays St. James. The pitch, there's a grounder towards Richter. At third, looks him back, goes to first. In time, runner going to third base, throw across, and he is out. Perfect throw by Hamilton to Trey Richter. It's a double play as Owen Hamilton threw a bullet into the turf. The perfect turf hop to Trey Richter, and the tag is made. So Parker grounds out. 5-3-6 double play. And Nolan Ulrich will stand in now with 2 down. Good job by Landon Richter to look the man back. And there's a foul down the left side. And he fired a bullet across to Hamilton, who got it. Perfect throw, chest high. Came right back, threw it to third on one hop to Trey Richter, who was aware to what was going on. And he put the tag down on Valley, and it really wasn't even close. It's a double play by the Tigers. They turned one to close out the game against Cuba on Saturday. And the pitch to Ulrich. Here's a foul straight back. Ulrich walked his first time and was forced out. Left-handed batter, number 8 in the order. Salem Tigers will have Moody, Du Bois, and Hamilton up in the 5th, trailing it by 2. That pitch is way outside. 1-2. Like the ball kind of slid out of Caden Du Bois' hands. It's moist out there. That term moist, but it has to be. Pitch comes home. There's a foul back again up in the eyes of Ulrich, and he fouled it back into the netting here at Owensville. 2 runs in the first for Sullivan and 2 more in the third. Salem with single runs in the second and third inning. They trail it by 2. The pitch, a bit high with that fastball, 2-2. Ulrich waits. Pitch from Du Bois. Just missed outside, and Sanders continues to hold it there. 3-2 to count. Just missed on the outside edge. Pitch comes in. That's a little bit high again. Ball 4. So Ulrich earns his second walk. Had an 0-2 count. Came back to get the walk. Took a couple of real tight pitches. And Jordan Rice will stand in. Rice grounded into fielder's choice this first time. Right-handed batter deep in the box on top of that plate, though. The pitch comes home to him, and the pitch is outside and low. Du Bois pitched 3 innings on Saturday, and here he is back on the hill again today, pitching into his 4th inning. Throw to first base, and back easily is Ulrich. Pitch coming home. That fastball's high. Quickly 2-0. 6 straight balls that have counted. Of course, there was a couple foul balls in there. Ulrich stayed alive, but now Caden needs to find a plate again. Pitch to Rice. Way outside and low. 3-0. Top of the order waits on deck in Cambrian Coke. 2 out, nothing shaken. You walked the 8th place hitter, and now you got a 3-0 count on number 9. Pitch comes home. Strike, throw to first. Back in time easily. Rice waits again. 3-1 to count. Pitch comes home. Strike 2, inside corner fastball. Straight away for this hitter. Maybe give him a little bit of right center. The 3-2 to Rice. Runner going. Curveball's high. And it's ball 4. Back-to-back walks. And now Koch, who is lined out and grounded out, stands in. And Coach Edwards is coming out. Well, Du Bois has done a good job as Alex Tays comes in to run for Jordan Rice. So Du Bois talks with Coach Edwards. Infield gathered around him with runners at first and second, 2 down. Giving the young man a break here. See if he's still got anything left. Mentioned he went 3 innings on Saturday. Now into his 4th inning here. That's like a complete game. That's not a lot of recovery time as well. But they're going to leave him in. I'm sure the Tigers will be looking at a different pitcher probably in the 5th inning. The top of the order for the Eagles is now back up there again. Koch 0 for 2. Still waiting for everybody to get back into position. Boys with 3 walks in this game. The pitch comes in, a line drive into left field, right at ball, but it's going to fall in front of him. Corby gets it in and throws it home, and that's going to do enough to stop the runner at third base. Corby came up with it clean and got it in quickly. A base hit by Koch has loaded the bases for Gavin Schmidt. Schmidt doubled the left center, flew out to center. Right-handed batter right on the front part of that batter's box. Du Bois trying to get out of this 4th inning without any further damage. The pitch. Curve in for a strike. Definitely tells Schmidt was looking for a fastball. 0-1. Right center field, a big gap is there. Pitch to Schmidt. There's a smash. Pass Lichter in the left field. 1 run is in. Another man's going to score. The throw comes all the way home. No good there. The throw down to second is not in time. It's 6-2. Schmidt singles in, too, as the walks have come back to haunt Du Bois. And Coach Edwards says, that's enough, young man. So Koch goes to third base. Schmidt down to second on the throw home. And with 2 out here in the 4th inning, Du Bois is done. I believe Corby Ball is going to come in and relieve him. So Du Bois 3 2/3 innings. And he's given up 2 hits in this inning, 6 on the day. That ball, make that 7 on the day, 3 hits in this inning. 7 hits on the day, still responsible for the 2 guys on base. 3 walks, as we mentioned, 2 strikeouts. Did not hit anybody in this game, so Corby Ball's going to check in. And take over for Du Bois here in the 4th inning. 6-2 our score for Sullivan. We'll go ahead and take a 30-second break and come back. This is Tiger Baseball on KSMO Media.
Is your back continually giving you pain? Do you constantly have headaches? Do you have numbness or tingling in your arms, hands, legs, or feet? These are symptoms, and they're a warning sign from your body. And if you'd like to know why they're occurring, Dr. Amber Duncan of Duncan Chiropractic can help. Her mission is to find the cause of the problem and correct it. Give Dr. Amber Duncan a call at 729-2321 or stop by 401 East Scenic Rivers Boulevard in Salem.
So there'll be some changes made. Du Bois will go to third base here in the bottom of the 4th inning. Corby Ball here in the bottom of the 4th will come in to pitch. So I believe Richter's out in left field now. And so we'll go with that as right now. So Ball is on the hill, and he'll be facing Chase Blue. Blue has tripled and singled, 2 for 2 in a game. Right-handed batter against Corby Ball. That curveball's high, ball 1. Barrett may be on the outfield. Just can't see the number from our angle, so we'll check that out here as we go through. Ball with a 1-0 count. Brings it in. That's outside, 2-0. Got a base open here. Skaggs is on deck, though. He hit the home run last inning. 2 in the first, 2 in the third, 2 here in the 4th now for Sullivan. The pitch and a fly ball in the right field. Howard back, he's there, and he makes the catch. Blue hit it hard to right, but Howard went over and made the catch to retire the side. 2 runs, 3 hits 2 walks, and there are 2 guys left. We have now played 4, 6-2. Sullivan will come back in a minute. This is Tiger Baseball on KSMO Media.
I was surprised.
I was definitely surprised.
Yep, we had no idea. Totally surprised. Can you say jaw drop?
Who knew? State Farm, with these great rates?
The surprise everyone's talking about is the surprisingly great rates for home and auto insurance from State Farm, especially when you combine them.
When you want the real deal, call State Farm agent Cameron Irway in Salem. Have you had a fender bender or crashed your vehicle? Come and see Jadwin and Smith Auto Body and Auto Care for all of your auto body needs. They have over 20 years of experience of putting vehicles back in mint condition. Take your vehicle to Jadwin and Smith Auto Body and Auto Care at 1202 West Scenic Rivers Boulevard in Salem, across from Walmart, or call 729-3900. Locally owned by Tim and Wendy Smith.
To the 5th inning we go. 6-2, Sullivan. Caden Moody will lead things off, followed by Caden DuBois and Owen Hamilton. Moody has struck out, popped out against Cambrian Coke. Pitch comes in to Moody and takes a strike. Coke right-hander. Watch the Tigers tie it. Now Moody pops it up again. Short right center field, and backing out is Ulrich to make the catch again. Moody got jammed. That ball straight up in the air. And Caden DuBois will stand in. DuBois is grounded out to third and struck out. 1 out here in the 5th. 6-2 Eagles. This is the district semifinal. Pitch comes home, low in the dirt. Tigers would need a big rally here. 2-out rally by the Eagles in that 4th inning. And they added 2 more. Fastball high. After a base hit by Valley to right, a double play by Dylan Parker on a 5-3-6 double play. Then a walk to Ulrich after DuBois had him down 0-2. Rice walked, base hit by Koch, and then the RBI, 2 RBI single by Gavin Schmidt. 3-0 to DuBois. Cambrian Koch pulled his hair back under his hat. DuBois waits. And the 3-0. That's a strike. Outside edge. DuBois gets back in. A little bit of an open stance up in that front part of the box as the pitch comes home. That's a little bit low. A 1-out walk to DuBois. And Owen Hamilton is 1 for 2 with an RBI, steps in. Tigers trying to get a rally going here. Have 5 hits in the game. Hamilton has one of those, as I mentioned, drove in a run with that pop fly single that did put Mitchell Garner out of the game with that pop fly. He waits. That fastball is an outside corner fastball for a strike. Owen did not agree with that, as Rice had to kind of reach for it. Hamilton waits that pitch. Again, same place. And strike 2 is called. And Owen talking with the umpire. 1 down. Runner first base is DuBois. Very short lead. Koch checks, ready, brings it home. Check swing, and he fouls it back. It's a high fastball, and still 0-2. Cash Howard's on deck. He's 2 for 2 in this game. Koch looks, checks. Brings it to Hamilton. A grounder toward the right side. Getting over as a second baseman. The throw to first is just in time. Ulrich had to hustle over. That ball was not hit hard into that hole. And he just got Hamilton by a half step. 2 boys down to second base for Cash Howard. Cash doubled to deep center, then hit a solid single to right. They give him a big hole in left field right now. Tiger right fielder waits as the pitch comes home from Koch. Outside for a strike. And now that strike zone's getting a little wider. That pitch was a good 3 inches outside. Howard, left-handed batter, waits. Pitch comes home. Just a swing and a miss. Good high fastball. Good swing by Howard. No connection made. Cash down on the count. 0-2. Tigers in their gray pants. Carolina blue jerseys with the navy blue caps. The pitch. Swing and a foul tip on a high fastball. Cash trying to take that to the left. Just got a piece of it. Sullivan Eagles in their all white uniforms, basically, with just a little bit of black trim around the sleeves, and then the black and gold numbers with an S in the front. Black and gold S for Sullivan. And the pitch coming to Howard. He waits. Pitch comes in. There's a high pop-up on the infield. Calling for it is Schmidt, and he makes the catch to retire the side. No runs, no hits, a walk, 1 left. We have now played 4.5. To the bottom of the 5th we go. 6-2 Sullivan. Will come back in a minute. This is Tiger Baseball on KSMO Media.
Every project is different, which is why Salem Truss uses modern engineering software to design, then construct quality trusses for your home, barn, or business. The size of the job doesn't matter, but the quality of the work does, which is why Salem Truss will deliver their trusses anywhere. Proud to support the Salem community, they're open Monday through Thursday from 7:30 to 4:30 and Friday from 7:30 until 11. For more information, call Salem Truss at 729-9276.
Hi, Carrie Patton here from Town & Country Bank. We've got all the perks of a national bank, like online banking, quick loan approval, and you can even deposit your check from your phone. That's not why our customers love us, though. They love us because we still offer hometown customer service. Stop by one of our area locations and let our friendly team remind you how special hometown banking can be. Smart, friendly solutions. Town & Country Bank. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
You know, role models are more important than ever in today's society, and you can serve as a role model for others the next time you display good sportsmanship at a high school athletic event. Good sports are winners, and are also vital to preserving our fine sports traditions. So the next time you attend a sporting event, remember to be a good sport and help rekindle the spirit of citizenship. This message brought to you as a courtesy of your friends at the Missouri State High School Activities Association and all of us here at KSMO Radio. Okay, moving on to the 5th inning. Here's the big guy, Dayton Skaggs. He's homered. He's got a sacrifice fly. He's got 3 RBIs. He's 1 for 1 in the game. Scored a run. Right-handed batter with that home run off Du Bois takes that curveball outside. That home run came on a low fastball. He went down and got it, and I mean he crushed it in the left center field. Ball was back there. He's on the mound right now watching that ball sail over the fence. Pitch comes home to him, a swing and a miss. Lucas Parsons, Seth Valley on deck. We're in the 5th inning, 6-2 the Eagles with the lead. Lights on here at Sullivan on an overcast day, and a grounder towards Du Bois at 30, drops it, can't make the play. Du Bois, who took over for Richter, had that ball hit his glove. It fell out. He tried to pick it up. He couldn't. So reaching first base on the air is Dayton Skaggs here in the 5th inning. E5. And so Lucas Parsons will stand in. Second Tiger error of the day. Standing in is Parsons. Lucas takes it low. Corby Ball on the hill, replacing Caden Du Bois, who went 3 2/3, 7 hits, 6 runs for the Mern, 3 walks, 2 strikeouts. Koga's gone all the way for Sullivan. They've got nobody warming up. Pitch, it's a strike, 1-1. Ball looks in for the sign. Hayden Sanders gives it to him. Now one slings a little bit outside. 2-1 here in the 5th inning. And the pitch. It's in the dirt. Goes all the way back into the netting. Going to second base with Skaggs on the stolen base. He was already headed that way, and the pitch by Corby Ball bounced on that turf and then off the wrist of Hayden Sanders and back to the screen. Man at second, nobody out, and the pitch in the dirt, ball 4. So an error and a walk. Not starting out good here in the 5th inning for Corby Ball. Seth Valley flew out to right, then singled to right. Stole a base, and then was thrown out a double play by Dylan Parker. Valley waits, first and second. And the pitch, he's on a bunt, he lays it down. That's a perfect bunt. There's nobody at first as Stevens didn't get there. It'll be a base hit, and the bases are loaded, and nobody out. Perfect bunt. Why Owen Hamilton came in on that bunt, I don't know, but he did. And Stevens tried to get over there, could not get there in time. That ball wasn't bunted far enough for Hamilton to go after it. He needed to peel back, but did not. So not a sacrifice at all, just a base hit. And Dylan Parker stands in. He's the DH. Corby Ball ready to bring it to him. That pitch is outside high. Salem not getting any calls anymore from the pitcher. Ball looked in. Same pitches are being, some of the pitches near that are being called strikes. That pitch is fouled off the foot of Parker. Corby Ball trying to get himself out of a bases-loaded, nobody out jam. An error, a walk, a bunt single intended to be a sacrifice. The pitch outside. 2-1. Ball just missed again by Corby Ball. Pitch to Parker. That's in for a strike. 2-2. Nolan Ulrich is up next. Ball brings it low and outside. Ball 3. That curveball swept outside. Parker gets back in. Right-handed batter. 3-2 count. The pitch low. Ball 4, and a run has been walked in. It's 7-2. Skaggs, who reached on the air, comes around to score. Parsons down to third. Valley to second. Now Parker at first base. Still nobody out for Nolan Ulrich. He has walked twice. That's the second walk for Ball. 5-run Sullivan lead here in the 5th inning. Pitch, high and outside, ball 1. Ulrich, his last at bat, was down 0-2 and the count, battled back. He grounds this one up the middle. Ball has it to throw to first, out. Throw to first base in time for the double play. Now Runstraw try and score. Is it going to be? Oh, he's safe. They said he missed the tag. Tony Edwards wants to come out. That'd be a triple play if they tagged him. Tony Edwards is out pleading his case. I don't know what the umpire's trying to tell him. I think he's telling him he's had enough. But they called a run in. So the out at home, Parsons was out there. Ulrich is out at first base. It's a double play, no RBI as the run scores. Seth Valley came in to score to make it 8-2. Parker's at third base. The other umpire's going to come in. I would have actually just appealed to the other umpire just to see if he saw it differently, but they're not going to give in. But that would have been a triple play had the tag counted. Unfortunately, the umpire either missed it or Hayden Sanders just missed him. So I can't tell you which one. That was bang, bang there. But no slide by the runner. He just tried to run by Hayden, and that's probably what made the situation even a little bit more confusing. So it's 8-2. Rice at the plate. 2 runs in, 2 out in the pitch. High pop-up right side. Howard coming in. And going out is Roy Stevens, and he makes the catch. Rice vying for an RBI single, pops out. So 3 runs. Nope, make that 2 runs on a total of 1 hit. 1 error. And 1 man left. We've now played 5. It's 9. No, it's 8-2. Sullivan. We'll come right back in 1 minute. This is Tiger Baseball on KSMO Media.
Cuddy's Well Service and Plumbing, LLC in Salem provides well pump repairs to existing wells and pump installations in new wells. In addition, they can handle all of your plumbing needs. They can also provide backhoe and dump truck services. Need Creek Rock or White Rock delivered? Give Cuddy's Well Service a call at 729-2787. Cuddy's is a proud supporter of Salem Tiger Athletics and all of the students in Salem and Dent County.
There's a place for do-it-yourselfers with everything for your car or truck.
Check out these truck and towing specials at K&H Auto Supply. Save $25 on select custom hitches. A Reese Universal Heavy Duty Coupler Lock is only $39.99. And a Reese Towing Security Kit with 2-inch ball is $45.99. K&H Auto Supply is your Parts City Auto Parts store in Salem.
Parts City. Yeah, Parts City. Parts City.
We go to the 6th inning. Salem Tigers need a big rally. They're down by 6. It will be Sanders, Corby Ball, and Landon Richter. Koch back to the mound. Sanders has struck out twice. Had a real good at-bat back in the 3rd inning with a couple of guys on. Fouled off a number of pitches, then got caught on a curveball. And he stands back in. Takes that pitch a little bit high. Ball 1. Sanders just missed a RBI double, maybe 2 RBI double on a ball down the line. We have a pull right here. That ball hit right there by the line out of my view. But it had to be very close because the umpire started a point fair, then threw his hands up saying foul. Well, that's my point of reference. We'll go with that. 2-0 to Sanders. That one's down in. 3-0 by Koch. He's got a 6-run lead. Last thing you want to do is walk your leadoff guy. Koch has walked a couple in this game. And the pitch comes in. The strike with a fastball. Aiden Sanders wears number 23 in the back of that uniform. Tiger catcher. Right-handed batter. Waits with that right front foot in that top corner, and he hits that one into right field pretty well. Going back is Parsons, but he makes the catch. Good hit by Sanders the other way. He lined that one out to right, but taken down there by the right fielder, Lucas Parsons, who came in for Mitchell Garner back in that third inning. Corby Ball is 0 for 2. It grounded out to second, struck out. Right-handed batter. Pitch coming from Koch. It's on its way. Grounder towards third. Taken there by Blue. Throw to first in time. 5-3 on the putout. Landon Richter is 1 for 1 with a walk. Stands in. Richter has an RBI single. Left-handed batter against Koch. And the pitch comes in. There's a bash up the middle, but it hit the mound. It goes right to the second baseman. A throw to first is in time. As Ulrich was able to recover, that ball hit the mound and deflected back to Ulrich. And a good hard hit ball by Richter, but 4-3 on the putout. And down in order go to Salem Tigers. 1-2-3. We go to the bottom of the sixth inning. 8-2 Sullivan. This is Tiger Baseball on KSMO Media.
Enrichment Services of Dent County is a nonprofit agency providing rehabilitative services to individuals with developmental disabilities or functional impairments. They offer a variety of programs tailored to fit the various needs of local citizens, from adult daycare for social and recreational needs to in-home health care for those disabled or medically fragile clients. For more information about the services they provide, call Director Tanya Newman at 729-7279.
Need to schedule an appointment for an X-ray, MRI, CT, nuclear medicine, or an ultrasound? Call SMDH Centralized Scheduling at 573-453-5952. SMDH will schedule your tests while working around your personal schedule, help you pre-register for service, and help you navigate insurance requirements before your appointment. Schedule your radiology appointment today with Salem Memorial District Hospital by calling Centralized Scheduling, 453-5952. The Salem Memorial District Hospital. Every patient, every encounter, every time.
It's the bottom of the sixth inning. Sullivan with a lot of twos up there. 2 in the first, 2 in the third, 2 in the fourth, 2 in the fifth. As a poker hand, they'd win. There's no doubt about that. They got 4 twos. Salem's got a couple of aces. That's about as good as it gets. But right now, Tigers are going to have to mount an incredible rally in the seventh inning. And right now, Hayden Sanders throws the ball almost all the way to the center field fence. Wow. As he threw it down to second base. A little frustration out there for the Tigers. You can't blame them. The ball will stand in. Cambry and Koch will lead things off. Corby did a pretty good job pitching out of a bases loaded and nobody out situation. They got a double play on a 1-2-3 bouncer. Almost turned a triple play there. That would have been amazing. But it was... just so close. Had to wait for the umpire to give that safe sign. It took him a while. Pitch by ball's way outside to Koch. Koch's 0 for 3. I'm sorry, 1 for 3. Excuse me, got a base hit last time. Up a base hit to left field. Pitcher ball comes in. That's on the outside corner, but no call. Boy, that was a good pitch. Umpire did not give ball the strike. Like I said, Salem's got a little bit squeezed here later in the game. And that pitch comes in, a grounder towards the third. Du Bois has it to throw to first base. Nice throw by Caden. Throw him out. 5-3 on that put out. And Gavin Schmidt will stand in. Schmidt has doubled. He has also flown out to center field. And he had a base hit back in the fourth. He has a couple of RBIs in the game, scored a run. He waits. The pitch from Ball comes in. Curveball outside. Ball one. For the Eagles, as we look quickly here, 8 hits for them in the game. The pitch, outside fastball. They have 8 hits. Salem has 6 hits in the game. But Sullivan has 8 runs. 2-run homer by Dayton Skaggs right now, the big difference in the game. That made it a 4-2 game after Salem tied it. It's a high fly ball in a short left field. Here comes Richter. Landon makes the catch. And Chase Blue will stand in. Blue tripled to right center, singled, and flew out to right. Blue with a couple of runs scored in this game, as well as an RBI. Right-handed batter, 2 down in the 6th inning. The pitch, curveball outside. Salem in the 7th will have Roy Stevens to lead it off, and then Trey Richter and Caden Moody. The 1-0. Ground ball right at Hamilton. He has it, steps on the bag, and that retires Chase Blue. Nothing across for Sullivan. 1-2-3 in the 6th inning to the top of the 7th. Salem needs a big rally. They trail it 8-2. We'll come back in a minute. This is Tiger Baseball on KSMO Media.
Your legacy. Protect it, prosper, and pass it on. Stephen Patterson, attorney at law, specializes in real estate, estate planning, probate, family law, and business law. A Salem native, Stephen Patterson provides comprehensive representation to clients throughout southern Missouri. If you need assistance, contact Stephen Patterson, attorney at law, at 573-453-2529.
We are Missouri Farm Bureau Insurance, and we're here for all of life's wins. Like when you get a new car, or new boat, or new driver, or when your son moves out but your mom moves in, or you find out you're expecting again, or when one rental property turns into 2, then 20, or you realize they're all in Tornado Alley. Life is full of life events. Make sure you have the right policy for each of life's wins.
A life event could qualify you for a discount. Call me, Willie Strader, your Missouri Farm Bureau insurance agent, and we will make sure you have the coverage you need.
To the bottom of the 7th we go. Top of the 7th we go. Don't get too anxious. Salem has to get 6 to tie, 7 to take the lead. And Roy Stevens will stand in to lead it off. Roy has struck out twice. Cambrian Coke has gone all the way. Roy had one good at bat, but he finally waved at one that kind of broke away from him. He fouled off a couple, but just could not make connections on that sweeping curve. Coke takes a long time for no reason. It's the 7th inning. Got a 6-run lead, and he's just staring and standing out there. And he brings it into Stevens. That's a strike. Coke looks in, gets the sign. The 0-1 comes home. Curveball inside corner for a strike. Quickly 0-2. The 0-2 coming to Stevens. Here it is. Fastball and a pop fly right side. Over near the first baseman, Blankenship. He makes the catch. 1 down. Trey Richter has a couple of hits, stands in. Two for 3 tonight. Single to center, single to right center. Flew out to left as Coke brings it home. Fastball high and away. Cade Moody on deck. 8-2 Sullivan. Semifinal. Winner goes on to play St. James Thursday at 5. And a fastball up and in. Richter cut at it. Didn't get it. Make that Thursday at 4. Excuse me. And a pitch up and in, and goes back to the screen off the glove of Rice. Two and one to count. Top of the 7th inning. 8-2 Sullivan. Richter waits, and the pitch comes home. That's a little bit low. Trey with a good eye. Watch that one go by. Coach ready. He brings in the next one. That one's in the dirt. Ball 4. So 1 out walk to Trey Richter, and Caden Moody will stand in. Moody's 0 for 3 with 2 pop outs to the second baseman. He struck out in the first. 1 down. 7th inning. Koch has gone all the way for Sullivan. Moody deep in that box. Back foot is on the back line. As Koch comes to the stretch, brings it in. That curves in for a strike. Moody taking all the way. Tigers need base runners and a bunch of them. Try and get on any way they can. From the stretch, pitch. Outside and low, knocked down by Rice, keeping Richter at first base. Moody on the right side. Koch checks the runner. Brings it in the dirt again. 2-1. Caden DuBois is on deck. Well, you got to get one guy on, then 2, then 3. It's how you got to get the train going. Pitch comes in, a foul back, went up in the eyes of Moody, and Caden took a good hack at it, fouled it straight back. 2-2. 7th inning action. Sullivan with the lead. Winner goes on to play St. James. We mentioned Thursday. It is at 4 o'clock. I think I said 5, but it is 4 for that championship game of Class 4, District 4, right here in Owensville. Pitch coming home. Just missed. That pitch had been a strike most of the day, and Koch's got his arms extended like, what? And I don't blame him, because that pitch has been called a strike for him numerous times today. That one he didn't get. So Moody stays alive. 3-2 count. Will Richter be going here? Not going. Fastball high, ball 4, back-to-back walks. And so Caden DuBois will stand in, and that's going to do it, I think, for Koch. I think he's got to his pitch count. Thought he had the strikeout, didn't get it. And Koch is going to go to the outfield, and Parsons is checking in. So let's see if there's any changes being made here. So going to pitch now is Gavin Schmidt here in the top of the 7th inning. Schmidt will come in to pitch. It appears that Skaggs will now play second base. And Koch is going to be in the outfield. Don't know if he'll play. I'm sure he's going to play left field. I think that's the only changes that we have. So there we go. So here we are going to seventh inning, and while we have Gavin Schmidt warm up, let's go ahead and take a 30-second break and come back. 8-2 Sullivan, this is Tiger Baseball on KSMO Media.
At Country Mart in Salem, you'll find gluten-free, organic, and diabetic products. They also have fresh produce, quality meats, a bakery, and a full-service deli that serves breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Have you joined the Country Mart e-Club yet? You'll receive exclusive offers, weekly specials, and special sale items through your email. It's free to join, and for more information about the e-Club, go to www.tcmarkets.com. It's just another service from Country Mart in Salem.
So we do have another change. Ulrich went from second base. He'll go to short. And Alex Tays is going to go to second. I don't know why the last-minute decision, but Alex Tays is going to go to second for Skaggs. So he is now at second. Skaggs comes out of the game after warming up. So Du Bois stands in. Runners at first and second. One out. And the pitch comes in low and outside. Well, we call it a strike. Schmidt with his first pitch catches the outside corner. 6 in the third for Koch. The 0-1 pitch to Du Bois. There's a high fly ball. Short right field. Down the line. That might fall, and it does fall, but it's foul. Just foul. Missed by about a foot. Koch gave up 2 runs. Both of them earned. Walked a total of 4 in this game. He struck out a total of 8. 6 hits given up as well. Pitch coming in from Schmidt. Outside. 1-2. At second base, Richter. At first base, Caden Moody with walks. And the pitch coming to Du Bois. Check swing. It's outside. It's 2-2. Was not even close to even being a check swing, but they appealed anyway. Deep in all positions for Du Bois. Blankenship at first base, even with the bag. Pitch from Schmidt comes home. Swing and a miss. He struck him out on the curve. First strikeout for Schmidt. And Sullivan's 1 out away from moving to the district championship. Owen Hamilton will stand in. 1 for 3 on the night. Tigers got 2 hits from Trey Richter, 2 hits from Cash Howard in this one. Cash is on deck, by the way, if Owen can keep it going. First and second. A lot of room on that right side. The pitch to Hamilton. Fastball, strike call. Outside edge. Foul waste time. Schmidt gets the sign from Rice. Ready. Here it is. That's strike 2. Ball on the inside edge. So he went from outside to inside. Hamilton gets back in. Right-handed batter. 8-2 Sullivan. We're in the top of the 7th. 2 on, 2 down. Schmidt from the stretch. The pitch comes home. Just low. 1-2. They're straight away in all positions for Owen Hamilton. Big right-handed batter. Set. Here it comes to him. In the dirt. Ball 2. 2-2. Salem Tigers, an 8-17 record coming into this game. Case Sullivan all they wanted to for 3 innings, but Eagles have broken it open. It's 8-2 here in the seventh. The 2-2 pitch to Hamilton. Cat foul stays alive. Curveball stayed up. Owen has really had a pretty good year with the Salem Tigers. Batting .257, but he's come through with some pretty big hits. This will be a huge hit right now. A big hole on the right side. And the pitch comes home. Strike three call. Hamilton called out on strikes. A delayed call by the umpire. And this game is over, as is the season for the Salem Tigers. They finish it up with an 8-18 record as Hamilton is called out on strikes. 2 strikeouts for Schmidt as he comes in to pitch 2/3 of an inning, and he retires the side to end this one and sends Sullivan to the championship game on Thursday at 4 against St. James. We'll take a 2.5-minute break and wrap it up here from Owensville. This is Tiger Baseball on KSMO Media.
Serving up the... At Country Mart in Salem, you'll find gluten-free organic... At Country Mart in Salem, you'll find gluten-free, organic, and diabetic products. They also have fresh produce, quality meats, a bakery, and a full-service deli that serves breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Have you joined the Country Mart e-Club yet? You'll receive exclusive offers, weekly specials, and special sale items through your email. It's free to join, and for more information about the e-Club, go to www.tcmarkets.com. It's just another service from Country Mart in Salem.
Come check out these May savings at Napa Auto Parts Store in Salem. You'll find Napa Premium Performance Conventional Motor Oil $17.99 for the 5-quart size. And get $10 off Night Vision Xenon bulbs in a 2-pack. And Chevron Techron Fuel Cleaner Additive $5.49 for the 12-ounce size. Stop by Napa Auto Parts Store at 604 East Scenic Rivers Boulevard in Salem today.
Spring is in the air. It's time to organize your finances, and at the Bank of Salem, we are here to help. From checking and savings accounts, certificate of deposits, IRAs, loans, and even safe deposit boxes, we've got you covered. Come in and let one of our friendly employees help you get organized. The Bank of Salem, neighbors serving neighbors since 1883. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Have you seen Town Screen yet? It's one of the most affordable ways to get your message out in the community. With strategically placed vertical screens in numerous locations in Salem, check it out at the Salem License Office, Roberts Judson Lumber Company, and the Main Street Country Corner Cafe, just to name a few. Find out more about how you can use Town Screen for everything local. Stop by 800 South Main or call 636-338-1199. Hometown created and maintained, Town Screen in Salem.
Are you diabetic? Do you have heart disease? Or another condition where nutrition intervention is needed? This is Jason Edwards, clinical dietitian at Salem Memorial District Hospital. We understand that illnesses should not be tackled alone. Talk to your physician about your circumstances and see if I can help. For any questions, give us a call at 729-6626. The Salem Memorial District Hospital. Every patient, every encounter, every time.
Salem Tigers fall to the Sullivan Eagles 8-2 in the district semifinal to end their season, 8-18. Pretty good game to start out with, as Caden DuBois on the hill and Cameron Koch both battled it out, but eventually the Sullivan bats just got the Salem Tigers, and a couple of miscues didn't help either, and they were able to take advantage of those, and they beat Salem 8-2. Game started out with the Salem Tigers getting a leadoff single by Trey Richter, who went to second on an error but was stranded there. Then in the bottom half of the first, a one-out double by Gavin Schmidt to left center field, and Chase Blue tripled to right center, drive him home, and Dayton Skaggs flew out to right to make it 2-0. Tigers got a run back in the second. A double by Cash Howard. He went to third on a wild pitch after Sanders and Ball struck out. Landon Richter got an infield RBI single to make it 2-1. In the third, the Tigers tied it. A leadoff single by Richter. He went to second on a wild pitch. He was there with 2 outs, and Owen Hamilton got a pop fly single in the right center field. It fell for a hit. Cash Howard got another single, but Hayden Sanders struck out. 2-2 score at that time. In the third inning, though, a 2-out single by Chase Blue off the glove of Landon Richter, and then Dayton Skaggs crushed a 2-run homer out in the left center field, made it 4-2. And the Tigers offense just kind of stopped at that point. The Sullivan offense did not. A base hit by Seth Valley. He was erased in a double play by Dylan Parker, 5-3-6 double play, with then a walk to Nolan Ulrich. Jordan Rice earned a walk, and then a base hit by Cameron Koch to load the bases. Gavin Schmidt drove in 2 with a base hit to left. Then in the fifth inning, a leadoff error by Caden DuBois at third base. A stolen base by Dayton Skaggs, a walk to Lucas Parsons, a base hit by Valley, load him up, a walk to Dylan Parker, an RBI walk to Dylan Parker, drove in a run. Then Nolan Ulrich hit one back to Corby Ball, who threw home for 1 out of second. That was 1 out, then 2 down to first base for the second out, and they almost turned a triple play as Seth Valley came all the way around to score from second base. And home on a throw home. It looked like Sanders touched him. Salem did not get the call, and at that point it was 8-2, and that's how this one ends up, 8-2. Sullivan wins it. They'll play St. James on Thursday at 4 for the district final. DuBois, 3 2/3 innings, 7 hits, 6 runs, 4 earned, 3 walks, 2 strikeouts. Corby Ball, 2 1/3 innings, 1 hit, 2 runs, 2 walks, no strikeouts. For Cameron Koch, 6 1/3 innings, 6 hits, 2 runs, 4 walks, 8 strikeouts. And then Gavin Schmidt, 2/3 of an inning, 2 strikeouts to finish the game off. Trey Richter and Cash Howard each 2 for 3 in the game for the Salem Tigers. And it just wasn't enough. They lose to Sullivan. Final score of 8-2. 8-18, the Tigers finish. I want to thank Coach Edwards and the entire team and all the Salem Tiger sports, and Coach Wilson for softball, and, Coach Patterson, Coach Woody, Coach Barnes, all the different coaches we have had all season long. We want to thank all of them for making it possible to bring you our Salem Tiger sports. We want to make our sponsors all thank you very much for making it all possible here as well. To Ben Gronowski doing the video side for Jim back at the station. My name is Stan Stevens. We want to thank again everybody for tuning in, watching, listening, whatever you're doing. We appreciate you being a Tigers fan here supporting your Salem Tigers. Been a long day, long night. Let's call it quits. 8-2. Salem Tigers lose it to Sullivan. Have yourselves a great evening. Cardinal baseball coming up next, and good night from Owensville.
Be listening next time for Salem Tiger Baseball on KSMO. Brought to you by K&H Auto Supply, Town and Country Bank, Salem Memorial Hospital, Salem Memorial Clinic, Farm Bureau Insurance, Country Mart, the Bank of Salem, Napa Mooney Auto Supply, Your World Today, Progressive Ozark Bank, Town Screen LLC, City of Salem, Town and Country Insurance, Tax Masters, Southwest Baptist University Salem Campus, Terrell Complete Auto Care, Edward Jones, Duncan Family Chiropractic, Jadwin and Smith Auto Body, State Farm Insurance, Stephen Patterson, Attorney at Law, Salem Trust, Cuddy's Well Service and Plumbing LLC, Enrichment Services, Dent County Vet Clinic, Aligned by Design Chiropractic, and Hometown Mechanical.